Hi guys, and welcome to the UV mapping tutorial. In this tutorial I will explain the basics of UV mapping, and I will explain what are UVs actually and what are textures, and how can I use images to create nice materials on my models. Okay, the first thing I want to explain is what is UV. Okay, you see the word here everywhere. UV is actually a vertex, but not in the 3D version. It is the 2D version of a vertex. Okay, when you see here this 3D model, every point is here unwrapped actually. Okay, and every vertex is also here, but here it is called UV. Okay, and I will explain you how I can get textures. That means any image, any JPEG. What do I have to do that this texture will look good on a sphere or on every geometry you'd like to have? Okay, so that you understand the process a little bit better. Here just two more images. You can imagine that you unwrap actually something. Also, like here, this image. Okay, you unfold the geometry that you have the 2D version. For example, when you unfold a cube, every one of you can fold from a paper to a 3D cube, and so we do the other way around with the UV mapping, so that we unfold the 3D geometry so that we can put images on our 3D models. Okay, I prepared a simple scene for you where we can do the basic exercises in UV mapping. And I also prepared some textures. You will find this on the server, and you should take the whole project actually I provide here to you, because here in the source images folder you find the textures, that mean the images that we will use in this project. And yeah, okay, so let's get started. So the first thing we will do is the cylinder. Okay, and on this cylinder we will put on these textures, so that this will be an oil barrel, an old one. And the first step we will do is we will open up the most important thing here on the window UV texture editor. Okay, here you see actually the basic layout. Every object you create has a basic layout. For example, when you click here on the cube, you also have a basic layout in here. This layout will deform when you do any extrusion or whatever you do with your model. This is just the basic form. But here in this case, we can use this basic form to create our textures. First thing we will do, assign new material. And actually we will work straight at the beginning with the mental ray materials. Okay, because we will do the rendering also with mental ray. This is a special renderer which does very nice renderings and very realistic one. So if you don't find these mental ray materials here, then go into Windows, Settings, Preferences, Plugin Manager. So this could happen at home, that you can't find the mental ray materials. Scroll down at the Plugin Manager, and here Maya 2MR, this means mental ray, these two check marks should be set. Okay, be sure that this is set, and you will get here the list of mental ray materials. And the material we will always use is the Mia Material X. This is the basic material we will use for nearly everything. Okay, now we have this Mia Material X. Then here switch to the Mere Material X tab. And we have the diffuse map here. Okay, there we could change the color, but we could also import images here. So click on this little checker mark, and we will add a file because we use any kind of JPEG. Okay, file, and then you get this here, then click on the folder, and when you set the project, you will come up here directly in the source images folder, and here we choose the oil barrel. Okay, and when you don't see anything here in the viewport, then maybe you change to viewport 2.0. Yeah, okay, you need this to see here texture. And also in the UV texture editor, I don't see my texture here in the background, but I want to see that. And so you have here, you should go under textures and then check the file you just imported, then you see it also here. Okay, every image you import will be put here into this square we have. And actually we don't need to do anything here because the parts are already split up. So what you just do, okay, you can select the UVs here, but my PC is a little bit slow today. Go right click and say select shell. Okay, and this shell you can move, and you see it depends on where it is. Then you see here other texture, and I can scale and rotate it and move it. So just scale it up a little bit. Yeah, that it fits here. I also do this with the second one. Select shell, click on this. The shell, actually you can't use the word Muschel, but it is a part of the object actually. So you can translate it in that way. Okay, this is the bottom. And the side, just take it and scale it up. Okay, that's quite the simplest version of doing this oil barrel. This was a nice way because everything was prepared. When you have any kind of cylindrical formed object, you can select some parts, for example, and then here, check here in Create UVs, there's a cylindrical mapping. Okay, and for example, when I use the cylindrical mapping, you get actually the same result. This is when you will use this in your parts of the, for example, when you did the pencil or the colored pencils, you will need this kind of cylindrical mapping. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Then I will do my second object. This will be the cube here. Okay, and I do the same. I assign new material, mere material X. Go here in the diffuse color, click on the checker, file. Then I will import the cube. Okay. Here I have to switch to, again, that I see my cube in the background. So, but now when I click select shell, I just can move the whole geometry, so the geometry isn't split up, and I can't actually prepare every side of this cube. So I will use one of the mapping methods. Just select your object in the object mode, then go to create UV's automatic mapping. This automatic mapping is very useful for any kind of cubic shapes, because now from 6 different sides the geometry is mapped. Okay, and actually you see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 6 sides are split up. You can just here with the blue haired face, you can switch on and off your image in the background. And now you can move this also again with select shell. Okay, now I have this split up, and now I make this a little bit bigger here, and now I position every part of the cube I don't care which one you do on which position. Why is my PC so slow today? So, okay, now have a look at my cube. Now I have a nice metal box here. Okay, then the third one will be the apple. Okay, there is some kind of, I just did the planar mapping so that the texture won't fit in the very first step. I do, again, a new material, mere material X, file, check here my apple texture, and now this looks stupid. Okay. Okay, switch on here my apple. And now I just check out the spherical mapping. The spherical mapping is for every round object. Okay, this is what you get when you do the spherical mapping. And you can scale it here. Just scale it that everything fits inside. And you see here kind of, you can also take here, for example, these manipulators. You see it's just scaling inside. You can do it here or you can do it here. It depends wherever you like to work. Okay. And here at the trunk, you can just give it a brown color. And now we just try out our first rendering. I just set up one light here for you already and also did the render settings. May you check your render settings, because when you at home, I hope you switched on the mental ray so that also here in the render settings you find this. And when I do my first rendering here, it's here at the film clap. Okay, it's not too bad, it's a little bit bright. But just that we see, okay, our textures look quite nice. Just skip it. Because I want to do the parts of the wall and the floor and also the image here on the wall. I will do the floor first. We also we always took the whole object before, but you can also take part of the object. For example, when I just take a face and assign a new material and file, I prepared the wood floor. Yeah, so we take the wood floor and okay, close this. Yeah. So the wood floor is a little bit big. And switch on my texture here. Actually, I have this shape here already, but what I also could do is I go on in the top view and use the create UVs based on camera. This does a planar mapping actually from the position where I am. Yeah. And what this does, it automatically scales here this up so that my floor looks nice. What you can do is, of course, you can adjust it and scale it even more if you like to have it, or just in one direction. And this wood floor texture is tileable. That means actually it is repeating here and here and here and endlessly. That's the reason why I can scale up, and this is bigger. It is repeating on every side. Okay, and sometimes it's very useful when you are searching for textures. You should type in, when you Google something, wood seamless texture, and you get some of, not all of them are seamless, okay, or tileable. These kind of textures repeat without that you see any borders. Okay, then the next one, next part of the wall, I will take this face. Actually, I go to this side view, and it doesn't matter if you did a mapping before or after you assigned a new material. I also create UVs based on camera. Okay, and then I assign new material. Now I take, for example, this one. I love this. Yeah. And I will scale up my shell that I get wonderful. I can also rotate it. Nice flowers on my wall. Okay, and the last wall, I go here in this view, do also the create UVs based on camera. I assign new material. And here I take the wall 1. This wall structure. Okay, this is that shell. Okay. I scale it up so that this rough structure is getting a little bit smaller. This are also tileable textures. So you might be confused because you see also the other parts here of the geometry, because it's one object that you see every part of this object or every UV. Because this is, my PC is so slow today. Okay, do a quick rendering. See how it looks. I guess I have to turn down the light a little bit. Select my light. Just put intensity to 1. Yeah, it's better. And the last object we will do is the image on the wall. For the image itself, I create, of course, a new material. New material X. It's the usual process. Get my New York in here. Oh, perfect. I have to rotate my image here 180 degrees. So you don't have to project it actually. I just check here my UV texture editor again. Okay, but what you should do is the image is stretched up. So I take my UVs and I scale the UVs that they perfectly fit my square here. Okay, now the image isn't stretched up. Okay, and the last one should be a wooden frame. So assign again a new material. And for that we use Fichtenholz. Perfectly English word. I don't know what's the English one. Okay. So for the mapping, there's just any stupid mapping on it, so we will do a nice one. And for that, go into the face mode and select just one side. Okay, we will do all the sides separately, and I select all of them. And then I will do a cylindrical mapping. Okay, this mapping looks here quite weird, and it's also lying in the wrong direction. So what you should look for is a red T here in the corner. So just click on it, then you activate the rotation tool, and with that you can rotate my projection better. And here on the right side you will see the options of my projection, and here just decrease the projection height, type in 5 or something. Okay, now you see here this cylindrical form around the object, and I will also type here perfectly nice rotation. So, oh, this was the wrong one. I need -90, and 0. And then you see here in my UV texture editor, just switch on my image. Okay, now you see perfectly folded up side, and I will do this for all the sides of my image frame. And when you see here, okay, I have a nice structure. Actually, I will rotate it a little bit and also scale it down, that you see here this is one nice part of the wood. See here it is stupid, and here it is beautiful. So I will also do this with this part. Do it again, cylindrical mapping. Here it is lying already Perfect. So I just scale it down. It depends on you how you, if you want to rotate your wood, if you like. Okay. Then here on the bottom, also cylindrical mapping. Okay, here it is rotated wrong again. Just activate the red T. Rotate it in one direction and into the other. Check here my protection height to 5. Then try to check here nice rotation values. So I guess 0, 0 here. Oh no, it wasn't 0. It has to be minus 90. Okay. I just put it away here again and scale it and rotate it and just put it up here. Try to scale it like the others. Okay, when you zoom in, you see it's perfectly wooden, and the last faces on this side, cylindrical mapping. Here it fits already, so just scale, rotate. Now I take all my parts when I select shell. Shell. Oh, let's split it up. It's not fine, so I take all of them. I think my PC is a little bit überfordert with showing the images. Okay. You may scale it also a little bit again so it nice fits in here. Okay. This is how your frame should look like. But what I do is I scale them all a little bit better so that all the parts fit here in this area. So that one, I have to rotate it, scale it a little bit. Okay. So, now when you have a closer look, you have a perfectly wooden frame of my image. I do a last rendering and see what happens. Okay, not too bad. What I want you to do is with your stuff you modeled the last month, is Büro Material, what it is called in English, office materials. You should try to use this different kind of mapping methods for texturing your objects. Okay, for the USB stick, for example, just go to the internet, get yourself some textures. A nice page actually would be, yeah, I see, I just watched the weather, cgtextures.com. And here you will find a lot of textures. For example, when you go and look for wood, you get a lot of stuff here, but you can also just check with Google when you type in wood texture, seamless maybe, okay, or tileable. Then go and get yourself some textures you want to like to have on your objects. And in the next tutorial I will show you to refine your materials. For example, for the pencil or what's coolie in English? I think I'm stupid today. No, ruler isn't. Ruler? No, don't know. Kugelschreiber. A pen. Ball pen. Okay. The ball pen where we will use mental ray for creating matte or glossy materials and to do chrome or brushed aluminium. So we will do a little bit experimenting, but the first thing you should do, objects which need any kind of texture, try to give basic texture, and the refining stuff we will do in the next tutorial. Okay? Then have fun and I will help you if you need some.